Hey everybody, it's that time again. It is Beer 30. Welcome to another edition with me, your host, Big Dub. First out, let's say congratulations to the Lakers for winning the NBA title, winning it in 6 over the Heat. And I do want to give the NBA a lot of props for how they pulled off the bubble with the whole situation with COVID. Able to finish off the season and get all the way through the playoffs and crown a champion with no issues at all through the playoffs. So that was great. So good for them. Congratulations to the Lakers. One thing I do want to say, LeBron, he is one of the best players ever. Probably one of the best right now, or if not the best. But please stop whining saying, now can I get my respect? You have 4 titles. Everyone thinks you're one of the greatest players. But crying out for respect afterwards when everyone does respect you just comes off looking bad on your part. Congratulations to you, but just accept and bask in what you have already, man. So, moving on, we're going to talk about IBUs today with the beers. We have 3 of them up in front of me, ranging in all different scales of IBU. If you're wondering, what the heck is IBU? It stands for International Bitterness Unit. Basically, simply measures the amount of the chemicals in a beer that make it taste bitter. Most of that comes from the hops. Everyone used to think, what is it, hoppiness? Is it bitterness? Are they one and the same? They're actually a little bit different. You can say a beer is hoppy, but hops add more than just bitterness. They do add some flavor, some tasting notes, some aromas to it. The bitterness itself is just how it tastes when it comes to the bitter side of the thing. And people used to get scared from saying bitter beer because of those commercials, 10 years ago, when they used to say, ooh, bitter beer face. But it's coming back, especially with craft beers. So we'll talk about bitterness and the IBU scale as we go along. The beers we do have in front of us. From Honky Tonk Brewing, we have their West Coast IPA. From Piney River Brewing, we have their Float Trip Ale. And from Martin City, we have their Easy Way IPA. So usually the IBU scale runs from about 5 to 120, lower meaning less bitter, obviously higher, the more bitter it is. And the 3 beers we have here, we have Piney River is only 18, Martin City's is 40, and the Honky Tonk West Coast IPA is actually 100. So we're going to go through all scales of the IBU here. And let's get started first. Let's start with the lowest tiered one, and we'll just work our way up. So we'll go first with the Float Trip from Piney River Brewing. It is a World Beer Cup Gold winner, too. I want to bring that up because right now, normally we have the Great American Beer Festival going on. I know they are going to do a virtual show. So I did sign up to be able to watch that. So hopefully I can get some of the winners from this year. I'll let you know my thoughts on them as well as we go through. So put that up there, let you guys get a look of what that one looks like. Very clear and golden color. It is just a normal ale, and I'm not expecting too much in the bitterness in this, obviously with it only being on the 18 scale. But don't just judge how bitter the beer might be from that IBU number. There's a lot of things that go into it. A lot of it, too, comes from the malts that get added in there. Sometimes more malts can balance out that higher IBU flavor. So something like a strong amber that maybe comes in at 60 IBU will taste even less bitter than a 55 IBU pale ale just because of the malts they throw in there. And also the scale of the ABV can actually hinder the malt, the bitterness flavor of the beer itself too. So we'll go with this one. I'm going to let you know what I think with the bitterness and taste in general. So up front here I get a very sweet smell. I get no hops, none of the aroma there. So taste-wise, that is a very smooth ale. Very light flavor up front. And then it just kind of is very mellow and light beer all the way through. It's not something that's going to overpower you. This is a very good drinkable beer. And I caught no bitterness on this at all. I'm not getting any hint of that bitter taste that you expect with the IBUs. And no hoppiness with it either. So yeah, I mean, it's a very good tasting beer. And like I said, I wasn't expecting much with this one. So we'll move on. We'll move up the scale here. And we should definitely expect some more as we move on. Next, we're going to Martin City's Easy Way IPA. Now, this one registers at 40, so twice the amount. And generally, with the IBU scale, I know it said don't let that be the main focus when you're judging if a beer is bitter or not. Now, It will give you a good idea if it's bitter or not, but again, there's a lot of different factors that go into it. Now, if you're looking for something that's just going to overwhelm you, bitterness, and that's something you enjoy, then definitely look for the higher count. But if it also has a high alcohol content, then it's not going to hit you with the bitterness that you might be hoping for. Now, if it has a lower alcohol content and a higher IBU, then you're definitely going to get punched with that bitterness flavor. So their Easy Way IPA here. Nice golden color as well. Nice head to it. On the nose, I'm definitely picking up more aromas from the hops that do help, like I said, with the bitter, but they also bring in more flavor, taste, so they're not just the only thing that adds to the bitterness of the beer. I mean, with beer making, there's so much that does go into it. If the hops weren't thrown in at all, the beers would just be too sweet to even drink and consume. So that's why they're there. But again, they add flavor, they add the aroma, they add some sweetness as well. So you definitely get a big jump up in bitterness with this one. You can get it sticking to the tongue. Now it's kind of an earthy flavor, earthy overtones to it. Kind of feels like maybe fresh grown grass, kind of slight taste to it, because that's where the stuff comes from. So the hops, growing out in the yard, it is nature, and it is that grassiness flavor, that bitterness that's getting you and punching you in the lips with this one. So yeah, it hits you right up front with it. And then as it goes down, you get it trickling all the way down the throat. You get that bitterness all the way down. So if you're looking for something that has a light kick of bitterness to it, this is a good one for you. Then we're going to move on to the honky tonk here. I'm hoping for a big jump and a big kick of bitterness and hoppiness to my face here. With it coming in at 100 IBUs, it's more than double than what we just had. And that one had a good amount of bitterness to it too. So 100 IBUs, that's very high up there. Now, one of the biggest, strongest ones that I've ever had, and that's out on the market, Dogfish Head's 120-minute IPA. It is 120 IBUs. That's why they call it that. Another one is their 90-minute. If you want to go out and get a good idea of the difference when it comes to them, go grab those. Grab their 60, their 90, their 120, and you'll see the difference as you go up the scale. I think they do a good representation of growing the bitterness with the IPAs as they go up. So I would recommend doing that so you can kind of judge and understand what the bitterness flavor is when you are drinking a beer and kind of what to expect as you go through the IBU scale. This one, much darker color. Still that golden, but it is a little darker. Now, I'm not getting a strong hop flavor and bitterness nose as I did with the Easy Way IPA. And as you drink it, I'm not getting much difference, to be honest with you, than I did with the last beer. And that could come into factor with it being a higher alcohol content than the other one too. But the bitterness that makes you pucker up, that makes you like that, same as the last one. I know the scale's different. And the reason I want to tell you that is, again, don't just judge it by that number alone. There's too much that goes into it. Generally, it can kind of give you a good sense of it. But most of all, just go enjoy beers. If you like them and you are expecting a hoppiness, little bitterness, fine, look for those. But don't expect to always get punched by that number. Give it one more try. No, that's a very, very smooth beer. And I'm getting less of the hoppiness flavor and less in the bitterness than I did in the Easy Way IPA. So, again, don't judge a book by its cover. Put this here for you to have a full look at in order. So, like I said, this one being only 18, there's nothing there for the bitterness aspect. It's a very good drinkable beer, very light, very refreshing. If you're looking for something just enjoy to sip, and that's not going to punch you with overpowering flavors whatsoever, try this. You will definitely enjoy it. It kind of reminds me of most golden ales, most beers like that. That's what I'm getting with this one. So do that. If you're someone that does like the bitterness and the hoppiness that comes with a higher IBU count, please check out the Easy Way IPA by Martin City. It hits you right up front on the tongue, and it keeps going all the way down. You'll enjoy it. You'll like it. And if you are a hophead, go try this. Now this one, I'm kind of surprised. The Honky Tonk West Coast IPA, I thought I was going to definitely get punched in the mouth with it. But like I said, this one actually punched me more with the bitterness. So again, don't judge it by that number alone. There's just so much going into it that kind of really adjusts the flavors. Could be more malt that was added in to counterbalance that. So it really does take away the IBU and the hoppiness flavor. So all in all, I enjoyed these beers. I'm going to just rate them when it comes to the IBUs because that's what I was going for. This one was by far the best IBU beer, had what it was looking for, and I think it overmatched what it was counting for. So enjoyed that one the best. Go with this one next. Very light, but it was still just enough there for me to enjoy. Now, I wasn't expecting much out of this when it came to the IBU, but like I said, if you're someone that doesn't like it or scared by bitterness, go try this beer. You will enjoy it. Thanks for checking in. Hope you enjoy what you're drinking. Until next time, bye.